Hello and welcome to the Lazy Days Racing 125 at Bristol here tonight for the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series, race number 5 of the season. And we are excited to get things kicked off tonight from the Colosseum here in Bristol, Tennessee. Such a famous racetrack, often bringing very exciting action all around the track. Cars will get spread out, and then you'll have a continuous stream of race cars circling the oval here, this half-mile oval in the mountains of Tennessee. As we're taking a look at the drivers in their practice session, just a couple minutes remaining. And like I mentioned, this is race number 5. Only a few races left in the regular season for these drivers to lock themselves into the playoffs. Looking at Ryan Gemmell right here, who had such a great run at this track last season. Was out in front by about 10 or 11 seconds and then made a mistake on pit road, and that is going to be something to watch out for here tonight, as we see drivers also kind of struggling with getting up into the wall, which can be an issue with the high line being the predominant line. We'll see drivers tag that outside wall, and you'll see right front damage, left front damage, and you might see some cars missing the front end at some point during tonight's race. But let's take a look at the points as they enter into tonight's race. We do want to welcome everyone here watching. If you're back for the first time watching the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series, these guys have put on some great races this season, and looking forward to many more to come. We do want to thank Old Bill for the follow at the start of tonight's race as well. So coming into the event, Ryan Gemmell is your points leader, but he only has a 1-point advantage over his teammate Seth Hatchell, the winner from Daytona. And we're looking at Seth on the racetrack right now. AJ Stravato, who has won the last 2 races, he enters in third in points, just 4 points back. Then you've got Mark Emerson, a winner from Las Vegas, who is just a few points back as well. And then Chris Samard, Keith Maotto, the V-Speed teammates, they're outside or in 5th and 6th. Eric Galley in 7th, Dennis Faircloth, the rookie, in 8th. Tony Baird in 9th, and Safe Fares, who was not scored for his actions in last week's race. He actually lost a lot of points, which dropped him a bit in the standings from where you would expect to see him with his 2 stage wins and ultimately better finishes than what that indicates. But he's going to be looking to rebound here tonight with a clean race from Bristol. Dale Glessner in 11th, Nick Starling 12th, Dallas Sullivan 13th, Timmy Emanuele in 14th, 15th is Noah Michalski, and currently the last driver in on points in the playoffs would be Josiah Vincent, and a few drivers on the outside looking in: Kevin Cornelius, Nick Alves, Eric Hutton, and Alan Dayz rounding out the top 20 in the standings. Looking at 21st on back, these are all the drivers who are the outsiders right now, looking to fight their way into contention and have quite a ways to go for some of them. So we'll see what they can do. Welcome Blazer Pete. Welcome everyone tuning in here tonight. I want to thank you all for coming on out and watching tonight's event, as we've got drivers headed towards qualifying. Bring up our qualifying ticker so you can see where your favorite drivers end up starting tonight. And got to be very careful and cautious getting out on the racetrack. So it looks like Chris Samard already fully up to speed. The number 37 V-Speed machine looks like he might have just tagged the wall, though. Across the start-finish line, he runs a 14.783 for lap number 1. That is going to be second fastest behind Nick Starling with the 7.61. So Chris trying to improve on that here. Laps just click by at a rapid pace. He's already back again. 6.19 lap number 2. 6.36 rather, and that's going to put him to the top of the board. Dallas Sullivan with his second lap with a 7.11. Eric Hutton across the line with a 6.92. Kevin Cornelius in the Team Red Speed machine. He's getting knocked down the boards now as Keith Maotto jumps to the top. And let's keep an eye on the winner from the last 2 races, AJ Stravato, that number 48 machine. Can he make it 3 in a row here as he comes out of turn 4, headed towards turn number 1 for lap number 1 in this qualifying session? Out of turn number 4, very clean lap there, 14.715 for lap 1. He's got to beat the 14.544 of Keith Mayato and a 5.59 of Seth Hatchell. Right now, V-Speed 1, 2, 3 on the scoring board. Travato with a 5.96. He's going to break up that party. He'll jump to 3rd on the board. Nice lap there from the 2-time winner this season. As Ryan Gemmel, another V-Speed driver, we'll see if he can join his teammates up there towards the front. We've also got Eric Gallion and Justin Carey on the racetrack. Justin here on his first flying lap. He's going to slam that outside wall. And this lap is not going to count because of that, but he'll try and improve and get a clean lap in for lap 2. But that is not going to be the case as he tags the wall even harder this time. Eric Gallion slowly working that car around the track to get it warmed up, get some fuel burned out of it, I think. He's going to try and get a nice lap time in here. Eric with some very good races to open this season, as he is in that Richard Petty Motorsports machine, the Armor All paint scheme, a nice paint scheme that Eric Jones has been running here over the last week or so. And Mark Emerson on the track, he is trying to get a lap time in as well. He's headed on his first flyer. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Let's go on board with him here to see the banking at this place and just how fast things come at you. A 7.33 for his first lap time. That'll be good for 14th. He'll try to improve on that here. And he will, a 6.67. That should get him up inside the top 10. He goes to 8th on the board. And Gallion, who's now up to speed in that car. A little bit of feathering of the throttle there as he dives into turns 1 and 2. Eric, pretty solid short track racer from what we've seen. Was very quick at Richmond last season. Across the start finish line at 14.901. Not going to be quite good enough for his standards. I think that's 20th fastest. And on lap 2, he'll look to improve. And he'll go with the 7.44. That'll be good for 15th. So a few more positions up the board as Brett Sommers gets ready to roll out on the racetrack, the Boston Web Marketing Machine. I think if we go to the blimp view here, you can just see what it's like to go around this half-mile racetrack. Might get a nice little perspective on things as he gets very loose down into turn 1, and that can be tricky with the tires as cool as they are. The Boston Web Marketing Machine across the start-finish line for lap 1. A 15.67 is the only lap time he is going to put in. It's going to be 32nd fastest out of 32 qualifiers. Only 3 drivers not to take a time. But right at the end of our qualifying now and headed to the drivers' meeting, we will jump to a quick commercial break. And we'll be back with the starting grid. V-Speed is proud to be partnered with Below the Double Yellow podcast, a podcast for NASCAR fans by NASCAR fans. Listen to Nick and Joe discuss all the latest on-track action, available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. V-Speed is also proud to present the 2021 Below the Double Yellow Cup Series, brought to you by the American Trucking Association, starting January 14th, 8:25 p.m. Eastern Time, Thursdays at twitch.tv/VSpeedSim.
Boston Web Marketing is New England's largest full-service web marketing company specializing in SEO, SEM, website design, social media management, reputation management, and more. Founded in 2009, we have rapidly expanded and are able to service small to large clients nationally as well as worldwide. We are a long-standing Google partner with a large team of SEO specialists, certified AdWords professionals, web designers, social media experts, and web marketing gurus. Our team provides excellent, knowledgeable, and highly effective web marketing services. Contact us today to get started. 617 676-8109. www.getfoundquick.com.
Hey, honey.
It's happening. The baby's coming.
Okay, I'm on the way.
Hey, buddy, you ready for the big game?
You're gonna be there, right, Dad?
Pal, you can count on me. I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Hey, honey, Josh's flight landed early. He'll be about 6:30. Can you make it?
Okay, I'm on my way.
We've got total gridlock out there this afternoon.
The average American spends over 40 hours a year, nearly 2 full days, stuck in traffic on our broken roads and bridges, while our lives move full speed ahead. It doesn't have to be this way.
Where is he?
Husband's on his way.
It's time for Washington to get America moving again by finally funding our country's infrastructure.
Where's Mom?
Tell Washington to fund America's infrastructure, because life won't wait.
I'm Jonathan Proper, CEO of Drops.com, and I'm here to give you the naked truth about laundry. Size does not matter when it comes to laundry. Let's start with jugs. It's big, all right, messy too, and expensive. You know why? Lots of plastic, lots of water, shipped all over the country, from factory to warehouse to retailer. That's what you're paying for. It's a dinosaur, and we all know dinosaurs are extinct. Meet our imitators. This is your average detergent pod. It has 20 plus chemicals with names nobody can pronounce. Nice colors. I hope they don't stain. I know color doesn't clean. Would you take a bath in either of these? No way. That's why we developed Drops. Drops is dye-free, MPE-free, phosphate-free, animal cruelty-free. So free, it's freaking awesome. We make Drops with only 6 safe ingredients, certified by the EPA. Drops is tough on dirt, but gentle enough for a baby's skin. It's so gentle, I'm taking a bath in it. Doing laundry with Drops is hard to up. 1 drop equals 1 load. Now, can we talk about my package? 100% recyclable. Manufacturing Drops ourselves and distributing directly helps us cut out the middleman and reduce transportation costs. With delivery plans as low as $4 a month, the average family can save $100 a year. Hello? What are you saying? The cleanest clothes at the lowest price? You're damn right it's a great deal. Thanks for calling. Shipping is always free. You choose the product and plan that's right for you, and we'll drop Drops at your door. The naked truth is that Drops makes laundry better and life easier. Every Drops counts, saving money, plastic, water, and time. So go to Drops.com. The first one's on us.
Back at the racetrack now, waiting for things to get fired up as drivers heading to the starting grid. Let's take a look at where your favorite drivers are starting in tonight's race. Starting on the front row with the pole tonight, Keith Mayato, the number 36 machine, looking for his first victory of the season with a 14.544 second lap. That is going to be fastest here tonight in the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series. Seth Hatchell going to be rolling off to his outside, looking for win number 2 this season. Good starting spot to do that. AJ Servato looking for 3 in a row. He'll start from 3rd position. To his outside, Jeremiah Vincent in the number 9 machine. Rolling off from 5th tonight, it's Chris Samard in the number 37 machine. And to his outside, Josiah Vincent looking for some points here tonight to pad his position within the top 16. Rolling off in 7th, it's Ryan Gemmel looking for his first victory. The points leader here tonight, Mark Emerson, a one-time winner, looking for his second, rolling off from 8th. Eric Hutton starting in the 9th position in the number 77, and Dennis Faircloth going to be rounding out the top 10 on the grid. In 11th position, it's Safe Ferris, the number 44, looking for his first victory. Kevin Cornelius, his teammate, alongside in 12th position. Dallas Sullivan starting in the 13th position here tonight. Eric Lambert for Simulators Anonymous going to be rolling off in that 14th spot. Eric Gallion starting in 15th position, and Nick Starling from BTDY Racing rolling off in 16th. Dale Glessner rolling off in the 17th position, that number 10 car. Zach Smith starting in 18th. Lane Sulford's going to be rolling off in 19th, and rounding out the top 20, Nick Alves in the number 24. Brandon Vasquez starting in 21st here tonight. To his outside, it'll be Joey Mines in the 22nd position. Alan Dice starting in 23rd, and Nathaniel Ostrowski starting in 24th. Cody Adkins starting in 25th, and TJ Brendel starting in 26th. Robert Gilmore starting 27th here tonight. Timmy Emanuele to his outside in 28th. Dennis Steele starting in 29th position tonight. Jordan Shepler going to be rolling off from the 30th position. Tony Baird starting 31st, and Brett Sommers, the last of the drivers to take a time, he'll roll off 32nd. Behind him, it'll be Justin Carey rolling off 33rd, Jordan Brockle starting in 34th, and Kyle Payne rounding out the field here. 35 drivers from Bristol. Going to be an action-packed night as the field working around on their first pace lap of the evening. Hopefully, this is not too common of a sight throughout the race, but we will have 3 stage breaks. You can see them right there on your screen. Lap 75, lap 150, and then the end of the race. But the top 10 drivers earning points during those stages. Going to be something to fight for. And those laps will click by quickly if we do go green for good portions of time. We'll see if these drivers can keep it together for that long. A couple drivers will be starting from the rear. Eric Lambert and Save Fares, those two going to the back. You can see Safe actually sitting on the pit road, and also the number 3 machine sitting on the pit lane as well. They may be penalized a lap to start things off based on their actions. A little bit of retaliation last week. So we go back to the front of the field. Pace truck getting ready to make the hard left-hand turn on the pit road. And there it goes. Teammates for V-Speed, Keith Mato and Seth Hatchell getting ready to control the field here. Green flag in the air, and we're underway from Bristol for race 5. And out of turn number 2, Mayato with the nose out in front, but Hatchell trying to power back around the outside. Here he comes. He's going to have the run. He'll take the lead at the line, and we are 3 wide behind him. And that's not something you want to see, but Safe Fair is making his way off pit lane. Eric Lambert should not be too far behind, but already 1 lap in the books, and it's still a battle for this race lead. Mayato pulling back out in front. Hatchell, though, with the power down the straightaway, able to get the lead back at the line, but these two fighting it out. Look at Stravato, all wiggly behind him. He's trying to keep up, and he got a little bit loose there. Mark Emerson all over his tail. And cheer on your favorite driver. Let us know who you're rooting for, and we'll try and keep up with them throughout the race. Seth Hatchell, though, out in front of his teammate here. 5 laps into it, he's able to get out in front by a few car lengths over Keith Mayato. And then AJ Stravato, Mark Emerson, Chris Samar, Jeremiah Vincent, and then you've got Eric Hutton in a different paint scheme tonight. Buffalo Track, I think, or Buffalo Trace. That's what it is. Right there, the number 77 machine riding in 7th. Behind him, it is Safe Ferris a lap down to start things off, and Eric Lambert also a lap down here in the 35th position. So those guys looking to get their laps back with a yellow flag and taking a wave around. But this battle up here, nose to tail, just outside the top 5. And even farther back, we've got some battling going on. The 24, or rather that is the 80 of Dennis Faircloth in a different paint scheme tonight. The throwback Terry Labonte scheme, which had some success here, also was involved in a couple of finishes with Dale Earnhardt in that scheme. But Terry Labonte, the Iceman. Oh, and look at that, the 41 of Ostrowski into the outside wall to make their way down into turn 1 and 2. Still clean and green, almost 10 laps into it, so that is good to see. As at the front, it is Seth Hatchell now out in front by about 5 car lengths over Keith Mayato and starting to stretch that lead out. That time by about 200ths faster. And look at AJ Stravato rolling the inside line, which is not something you tend to see at this racetrack. But driver of that 48 car trying to find some grip down there and change things up. Here comes the 9 of Jeremiah Vincent, also trying that strategy as he peeks down to the inside of Chris Samard. He's going to do it one more time, but Samard a little bit lower down the racetrack. But Jeremiah Vincent, a good run there, not able to get alongside. He's going to continue to try that, though, get some clean air down low. That is, that's probably my favorite thing to do at this racetrack, and something that almost no one expects. As these guys are already starting to catch up to the tail end of the field. That is the 40 of Robert Gilmore and the 68 of Kyle Payne. Quite a distance behind right now, about 13 seconds back in 32nd and 33rd, respectively. So these guys in danger of already losing a lap here, just 15 laps into the race. They're going to have to pick it up. As next car up in line, Jordan Brockle. He is in the 31st position. Justin Carey up here as he's racing up with Dennis Steele, Brett Sommers, Eric Lambert, that lap car. Remember, Eric just started from the pit lane, penalized from last race, where he and Safe Ferris got into it at the very end of the race. And, oh, the 28 in the wall. That's going to collect the 3. They're going to go around. No caution yet, but Lambert in a bad position when the 28 hit the wall there, and that is really going to hurt both of those race cars. Dennis Steele with the mistake. And we've got some fans cheering on Team V-Speed. We've got some cheering on the 40 of Robert Gilmore, the 3 of Eric Lambert. As at the front, it is still Seth Hatchell and then Keith Mayato in second, but AJ Stravato, he's been putting some pressure on Mayato here. These two cars kind of all by themselves and a little distance back to Mark Emerson, who is currently holding off Chris Samard, Jeremiah Vincent, and others. But Samard's starting to get closer as they are putting the lap on the 84 of Jordan Brockle. That is 31st position, just 30 cars remaining on the lead lap. 20 laps into this, but Jordan just letting these guys go. He is well off the pace. Not sure why he's just rolling over like that, not even giving it an opportunity to race. Oh, and there's a car. Oh, there, that is the 40 of Robert Gilmore, who's also a lap down. And we've got cars piling it up here. That is Zach Smith. And, oh, the 13 of Jordan Shepler. Dennis Steele piles into it late as the leader's just barely making it past. Let's go take a look at what happened here with Zach. And looks like Nathaniel Ostrowski also involved in this one. Things happening so fast in and around Bristol here. You see Zach with a little bit of damage already. The 41 car in front of him there. Let's see what happens between these two. He gets a good run on the 24. Alves checks up. Kind of throws off his rhythm there, I think. But you can see he's getting a much better run than Alves. And he just continues to check up. Little contact there, though. The 1 just drove right into him and then door banging down the straightaway. And right there in front of Dennis Faircloth and others. Oh, the 4 of Josiah Vincent involved. And then you see Dennis Steele. And there was another car involved right here. I think that might have been... That is the 39 of Timmy Emanuele also involved. But chaos here, 25 laps into it, involving quite a few cars. And we'll see who elects to bring it to the pit lane. Seth Hatchell so far staying out on the racetrack. Pit lane may not be open just yet. And for all you fans out there watching the Daytona duels, congrats to Eric Almirola for winning duel number 1. Looks like duel number 2 is currently under a rain delay, which is not a surprise, being in Florida. As the field working under the caution right now, this is caution number 1 tonight. Let's take a look at the track conditions, which we did not get a chance to do before the race. 70-degree air temp, 79-degree track temp. So it should be plenty of grip for these cars making their way around the racetrack. But if you keep these cars very low on exit, they can get a bit squirrely no matter what the conditions are. As right now it is Seth Hatchell at the front, who started second, but he has led the entirety of this race after battling with Keith Mayato in the opening couple of laps. So Seth Hatchell looking for win number 2. He loves this place. I've raced here with him many times and always the guy to beat in my experience, but some really fast drivers in this league. So he's got some stiff competition out here tonight. If you are interested in following or subscribing, please consider doing so right here on our Twitch channel. You can also check us out at all of these different social media outlets, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, where you can stay up to date with what we're doing throughout the week. For right now, it's going to be Wednesday nights, or the Virtual Racing League. Just came back with them last week, or last night, rather. And Thursday nights, the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series, which you're watching right now. And tonight's race brought to you by Lazy Days Racing. I want to give a big thank you to those guys, some of their drivers in the race tonight, but they are sponsoring tonight's race. Check them out on Twitter, Facebook. I believe there are a few of them streaming these races each week and other races on the sim. So I want to give a big shout out to Lazy Days Racing. You see their sponsor name or logo on the screen right now. As we are still working under the yellow flag, extended caution here. A little bit unusual, but the pace car lights are off. So we should be going green this time. It'll be Seth Hatchell, Keith Mayato on the front row as they started things, with Hatchell electing to take the outside line. He'll have the advantage here. We'll see what kind of a restart he can get. The number 8 V-Speed Camaro, good restart there, as Mayato not able to time it just right, but he'll hang on to second for the moment, as Mark Emerson now trying to take advantage of that outside lane and get around AJ Stravato. Looks like he will, and he'll start to challenge for that second position. But Stravato falling one position now behind him. Jeremiah Vincent, Chris Samard, these two are no strangers to each other. They have raced around each other quite a bit already this season, and it looks like Samard going to drop back into the 6th position right now, as Vincent going to make his way right on past. Behind them, it is Ryan Gemmel, and then side by side, Kevin Cornelius, the 77 of Eric Hutton. And then Dallas Sullivan right now rounding out the top 10, doing a good job. That 46 Fancy Feast Ford Mustang, trying to hold off Dale Glessner for the moment, try and find his way up towards the top 5. Glessner all over the back bumper. Nick Starling with a little bit of a connection problem behind them. That could be a bit disconcerting on the racetrack. But this time, Hatchell not able to pull away quite as far as he was before. Mayato still keeping in the tire tracks of that 8 machine. And we're about halfway through stage number 1. These guys could very easily go the entirety of the stage without making a pit stop, as only a handful of drivers from 20th on back made a stop, and Dennis Faircloth actually the first of the drivers to do so, but he has quite a bit of damage from that incident. And big winner on that wreck. Safe Fair is back on the lead lap in the 25th position as he starts to challenge the 21 of Justin Carey for 24th, and these cars all in front of him, pretty much all for position, but has to be very patient back here, knowing that there is still a ton of time, almost 200 laps remaining. But this is the battle for the race lead. It is Seth Hatchell down into turn number 3 and 4 and headed towards the start-finish line. He's got a 2 or 3 car length advantage over Keith Mayato. And then Mark Emerson and others behind, but we have a wreck on the racetrack. You see the 68 of Kyle Payne and the 1 of Zach Smith. Zach involved in his second wreck of the night. Let's take a look at what happened here to the number 1 machine for the second time. Kind of an interesting sequence of events, it looks like. You see the 1 car without the rear clip on it right here on your screen. The 22 of TJ Brendel there in front of him, and Jordan Shepler as well. The 22 though out of the corner, they're checking up in front of him, and Zach kind of minding his distance there. They check up on the exit. He runs into the 22, gets run over by the 68 of Kyle Payne, and both of those drivers sliding down to the inside wall, where Zach elects to take it behind the wall, or at least tow it to the pit lane. Do any of the drivers bring it down here and take some fresh tires? Does not appear that the leaders are going to do so. But second yellow of the night. Who's the first taker up here inside the top 20? As it looks like Dennis Faircloth, Joey Mines, a handful of other drivers all coming down the pit lane. Gonna put some fresh Goodyear Eagles on their race car. We're gonna head to a quick side-by-side commercial break, and we'll be right back. V-Speed is proud to be partnered with Below the Double Yellow podcast, a podcast for NASCAR fans by NASCAR fans. Listen to Nick and Joe discuss all the latest on-track action, available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. V-Speed is also proud to present the 2021 Below the Double Yellow Cup Series, brought to you by the American Trucking Association, starting January 14th, 8:25 p.m. Eastern Time, Thursdays at twitch.tv/VSpeedSim.
Welcome to V-Speed, your home for sim racing excitement, providing dramatic moments from iRacing and beyond. We offer broadcasting for leagues across iRacing with specialized packages to help grow your league and advertise your sponsors.
Shot at it, I think, and right now Stravato with that advantage. It's half a car length the difference between first and second going into turn 1. He gives the bumper to Connor Horn.
These two have gone all year to get to this point. Jacob Shorba drifting up the racetrack. They make contact. The 88 goes around. The 95 goes around. The 12 caught in it.
Our design team can help you create anything from paint schemes to sim rig parts with expertise in both 2D and 3D design with 3D printing capabilities. Looking to get into broadcasting yourself? We can help you design and operate custom overlays to make your stream look as professional as possible. Our team can create and manage custom merchandise sales for you and your team. Check out our shop to see what we have in stock and how we can create some awesome merch for you. Check out our race replays on YouTube or catch us live weekly on Twitch. Visit us at vspeedsim.com to see how we can help you on your iRacing journey.
Pace car makes the hard left-hand turn, and we are back underway. Green flag in the air. Seth Hatchell with a good restart. Mayato with a better one than the last one, but he's going to have a hard challenger on his outside. The 48 of Stravato trying to make the move here on the restart and sees his opportunity to take the second position away. What a run there in the center of the corner as they remain side by side down the front straightaway. Who is going to take that second spot where Mayato has run almost all race long? It looks like Stravato really utilizing the momentum up there. Mayato doing a good job hooking the low line, but I think it's only a matter of time before that 48 car clears him. But trying to delay the inevitable as the 48 now makes the move right on past him. But Mayato still trying to work that low line, and it is not working for him just yet. Nearly making contact on exit. That might allow Mark Emerson to squeeze in the picture. And the 32 up the racetrack, just not able to make the pass as the 36 slots in line. And so that will put Mayato back to third, Stravato up to second. But Seth Hatchell continuing to show the way here, nearly 50 laps into this event. He has led every single lap to this point. Looking like the car to beat. Look at Mayato, though, starting to challenge the 48 once again. He wants second back. And there's only 25 laps to go in this stage. So he knows his time to go is now. But 48 pulls a couple more car lengths. Mayato working about a half lane lower on entry. But you can see how that affects his exit of the turn. Let's go on board with Keith. He rides in that third position here with the American Trucking Association in-car camera. Trying to find a window to make a pass, but just not able to do so as of yet. But that is for the third position. We'll see if there's any battles going on the racetrack. Looks like Dale Glessner battling with Dallas Sullivan. Safe Ferris, though, up into the top 10. So that 44 car able to get back on the lead lap, and he is charged up here into contention. A little bit of right front damage on that car, though. He's got to be careful not to pancake it too much, because that could start to affect the handling characteristics as he looks to the inside. Look at the run there. And actually, just looking at it, Safe pitted 13 laps ago, so his tires much fresher than everyone around him. It would not surprise me that he's able to drive up into the top 5, maybe even up to the lead as he passes Jeremiah Vincent for 8th position. Now going to start to put pressure on Ryan Gemmel in the number 6 car. And he is going to drive right on past him. Look at the exit speed as he's now up to 7th, putting pressure on his teammate in the Team Red Speed number 70 or number 17 of Kevin Cornelius. And he will take that spot away from his teammate. Now look forward to Chris Simard in the 5th position. So what a drive here by Safe to come from the tail end of the field, a lap down, survive all the chaos in that back section of the field, and right now running faster laps than anyone on the track with those fresh tires. Could very easily go up here and win the stage as they are starting to work over some lap traffic. That's the 40 machine of Robert Gilmore. You see the 4 of Josiah Vincent having a rough night tonight. Started in 6th, but he is back at 29th position with heavy damage and already 1 lap down, looking to go a 2nd lap down as Hatchell approaching these 2 side-by-side machines in Tony Baird and Josiah Vincent. This could actually hold up Seth quite a bit if these 2 can't figure it out. Look at the gap behind him. And they are kind of boxing him in right now, but Hatchell looks like he'll be able to get around Josiah Vincent and then set his sights and focus on passing the 98 cars. He works to the inside now, and Stravato able to navigate Josiah Vincent quite a bit easier. Those 2 friends and teammates, 3 wide. Safe Ferris through the middle. That was a close call, but Safe Ferris now up to 3rd with those fresh tires, now trying to take 2nd away. He's got 10 laps to get to Hatchell, and that is just a few car lengths as that 44 machine shot out of a cannon with the fresh Goodyear Eagles. Maybe that's a strategy play for some of these drivers later in this race. And here he comes to 2nd spot. AJ Stravato back to 3rd. Now maybe going to fall to the 36 of Mayato. Not going to happen this time as Mayato gets back in line behind him. But I'm going to focus up here on this battle for the stage win. Just 10 laps remaining. And Safe Ferris with 42 lap fresher tires, starting to put some pressure on your race leader who's dominated the event. Now looking to the inside, and he's gonna have to be very careful making this pass work. But right alongside now, they go down the back straightaway, and he's gonna try and stick the nose out in front. This will be the first real lead change of the night, and he takes the lead away. So Safe Ferris to the point. The fresh tires making light work of that, and Joey Mines, next car on fresh tires, he's up to the 9th position. So good job by Joey to get into some points paying positions here late in stage 1. But some heavy lap traffic right now in front of Safe. Looks like they're going to roll out of the way. That's Dennis Faircloth. Jeremiah Vincent now going to the pit lane after potentially a problem. Not sure. It might have a blown tire, might have a blown engine. That car very slow down the pit lane. But Safe Fair is driving from the back to the front. Very reminiscent of a Derek Justice type challenge. And you know what? I think Jeremiah Vincent. Well, he is under power here. Just very slow around the pit lane. And we'll have to see what's going on with the number 9 car. But he is well off the lead lap at this point. Safe Fair is lapping some cars now. Only 20 cars left on the lead lap. And the next one right up in front of him, that is Lane Sulfridge, Alan Dayz, those two, the tail end of the lead lap. This could be very, a very bad thing for these cars to get lapped here. But look at the 71, going to shove the 44 into the wall, trying to block him and stay on the lead lap. And Safe Fair has had the lane, I think, and was really closing in, but Alan Dayz also up there in front of him. He's going to get lapped now, so only 18 on the lead lap with Brandon Vasquez next one in line. And he's going to make some contact into the inside wall, up across the racetrack. That's going to bring out the yellow flag. Safe Fair is going to go around him, but that should end stage number 1. And it looks like Safe Fair is winning stage 1 here in a crazy turn of events where Seth Hatchell dominated the stage. Let's take a look at your top 10 stage finishers here. Safe Fair is going to win the stage, his 3rd of the season. Seth Hatchell going to finish 2nd after dominating the opening portion of this event. Keith Mayato 3rd, Mark Emerson 4th, AJ Stravato 5th, Chris Simard 6th, Ryan Gemmel 7th, Kevin Cornelius 8th, Joey Mines in 9th, and Dale Glessner round out the top 10 in stage number 1. And you got to feel for Brandon Vasquez, who was last car on the lead lap, and now he's 2 laps down because of that wreck. And he'll try and get one back here, I think, but some pretty heavy damage on the left front of that race car. We'll see if he's able to race his way back into contention later in the event here. But Safe Fair leads the field around this very odd pit road situation here at Bristol, where we've got a pit road on both sides of the racetrack and can be very confusing for drivers. It looks like Nick Starling on the pit road, maybe with those connection problems, called it a night, as he is in the 30th spot and has been on pit road for over 2.5 minutes now. So one of your top 16 in points, maybe with some issues here. As it shows Joey Mines, your race leader at the moment. He has not yet led a lap, but we'll see if he elects to bring it in here. He's got 35 laps on the tires. Alan Dayz also had stayed out for the moment, but I think he was the lucky dog. So Joey Mines, currently your race leader, the only driver to stay out. Safe Fair wins the battle off pit road. Behind him, it's Keith Mayato and then Seth Hatchell. So Hatchell getting shuffled back to 4th now. Going to have to try and fight for that race lead for the first time, really, since the start of this race. If you're interested in checking out some of our merch and being eligible for a giveaway that we're doing right here on the channel, just give us a big follow here on Twitch, and also check out our Twitter, VSpeedSim, where you can follow us and be eligible. We're trying to hit our follower goals and getting closer and closer every day. I want to thank everyone who's supported us over the last couple of years here and helped grow the channel to what it is. So if you want to be eligible, you'll, if you win, you receive a hat or shirt of your choosing from the VSpeed merchandise website. And we're going to be actually doing 2 giveaways, one for Twitter followers and then one for Twitch. So if you want to be eligible, just make sure to hit that follow button on both of those platforms. So right now, Joey Mines, your race leader, but Safe Fair on the fresh tires to his outside. Should make short work of the 20 car, but cars have to get rolling again, and there can be issues with those old tires. And green flag back in the air. Joey Mines, and you see it right there. He checks him up. Keith Mayato gets run into, but they are all stacked up, and Joey off to the apron. And that is exactly what I thought could happen. As the 20 car spins the tires, he drops all the way to the tail end of the lead lap in the 17th position, and now he has damage. Keith Mayato with damage as well. He lost a couple of spots in that whole encounter. He falls to 5th behind his teammate Ryan Gemmel, who moves to 3rd, or to 4th rather. And then right now it is Safe Ferris and Seth Hatchell, the top 2. And we'll see what kind of speed that 44 machine has now that they're on equal tires. As he is working the high lane and cutting down to the low side on exit. A little bit of a different way around this racetrack, but you can watch him here as he has started to stretch it out a few car lengths over Hatchell. And right now we have 17 on the lead lap. Joey Mines already a half lap down after staying out. And then everyone else at least 1 lap down from 18th to 24th, and then at least 2 laps down, 25th on back. And there are only, looks like 2 drivers out of the race right now in Dennis Steele and Timmy Emanuele. But this field pretty strung out now at the front as Safe Ferris is pulled away by over a half second. But we do have a battle here and a caution. And it looks like the 9 machine of Jeremiah Vincent. Rather, it could be the 23 of Brandon Vasquez again. No? Trying to figure out who it is. And let's see if we can find out who is involved in this. Looks like it had already happened. Is there a car on the inside over here? Oh, there it is. Is that Chris Samard? Yes, it is Chris Samard with some bad luck here. Early on in this race, what happened to Chris? 37 right there behind Dallas Sullivan, the 32. I saw those guys racing side by side. Went to go find this battle, and Chris was already gone. As big hit, and Samar taking the worst of that, I think. But that is a huge hit for Mark Emerson as well, who looks like he thought he was clear over the 46 machine. And the winner from Las Vegas probably not going to be taking a win here. But man, what a big hit for Chris Samard, who also came in pretty high up in the points. That car is beyond destroyed as he rolls it onto the apron here to pit lane. He'll still be scored on the lead lap for the moment, but you'd have to imagine that he has some pretty serious repairs on that car, as it looks like the top 15 staying on the pit or staying on the racetrack. See if we can get a word in here with somebody. See if we can talk with Mr. Eric Hutton. Perhaps he is in his car, in the radio chat rather. Eric Hutton, this is Adam, the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, Eric, your car is looking a little bit worse for wear here, but you're still on the lead lap, still towards the top 10. How's it feeling out there? You think you're going to be able to survive to the end?
Yeah, kind of depends. The engine's still going at the end. It's down about 400 RPM, so just putting around here on the bottom, trying to make up what I can. Just big shout out to the 20 for not finding brake pedal and ruining me and Jeremiah's race, but see if we can make something of it.
Yeah, you're still out there, and perseverance sometimes the key to success at this track. You know, I think everybody's going to end up with the damage here, but you know, it hasn't been the start to the year that I think you were hoping for. But what do you do to get the tide turned around here quickly.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't had the runs that I did last season, but you know, these tracks haven't really been my kind of tracks that we've had so far. So hopefully we'll get turned around next couple weeks.
Yes, sir. And we wish you good luck rest of the way. Hope the engine stays running for you, and we'll hopefully catch up with you later.
All right, thanks.
All right. All right, and that was Eric Hutton, who, as you can see on the screen, has some serious damage, but green flag back in the air, and it is Safe Fares with the jump out in front. Look at that restart as he pulls out in front of Seth Hatchell and others. Nick Starling back on the racetrack, but many laps down now, 12 laps down. But it is Safe Fares, and then Ryan Gemmel moving to second. So Ryan, who didn't look like he had race-winning pace at the start of this, as he brushes the wall right there. Maybe going to try and redeem himself for the mistake he made last season at this racetrack where he was so far ahead. And just a pit road mistake under green ended up costing him. Still ended up with a top 5, I believe, but got to be hoping for more here as we have another yellow flag on the racetrack. Trying to see who it is. I think the 22 machine. TJ Brendel. He is involved in this one. Let's take a look at what happened to TJ. And I don't think it really was his fault. Looked like there were a couple cars, or a car in front of him. That is the 41 of Ostrowski, who gets into Samard after bouncing off the wall, and then 22 goes around right here in front of all of these race cars. And some big hits there. Let's get a closer look here. He goes around the 84, the 32, the 40, the 4. Wow, what a big hit for Robert Gilmore. That car off the ground. And that is going to hurt the performance of that race car. You can be sure of that. And that brings out another yellow flag here. Seems that cautions, breeding cautions in tonight's race. We had a nice long run. Well, about 25 laps to kick things off, and we've had a couple of other pretty solid runs here. But a little bit more segmented at this point here now in stage number 2. As it looks like almost everyone in the top 15, does stay out. Mark Emerson brings it on the pit road. That car has seen better days after the incident a couple of cautions ago. And just to recap, 3 lead changes, 5 cautions here in the first 100 laps as Mark gets rolling off the pit lane to stay on that lead lap. The field working down the front stretch here. Luckily, pace laps do go by pretty quickly here, just 47 seconds. Around 45 miles an hour, I believe, the pace speed. If you are just tuning in, this is the Lazy Days 125 from Bristol for the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series presented by the American Trucking Association. This is race number 5 of 20 this season. The first 10 races are part of the regular season. Last 10 are the playoffs. So drivers trying to establish themselves in the points and with race wins to lock themselves in. Safe Fares stage winner in stage number 1 after starting from the rear and a lap down in this race. He's looking to try and capture stage number 2, which will come at lap 150. Right now trying to hold off affiliate team members Ryan Gemmel, Seth Hatchell, and then you've also got that 48 machine of AJ Stravato looking for his 3rd victory in a row. And he's picked up right where he left off at the end of last season in dominating form, but has not found the lead yet here tonight. So we'll see if that 48 car can get to that position And green flag back in the air. Good restart for Safe Fares. A little spinning of the tires there for Gemmel. Can he get up in front of the 48 and actually hang on to second position? Does not look like it, as there goes Stravato to the outside. And that is the challenge for second position. Safe Fair is not able to jump out too far. And this may be the opportunity for Stravato to strike and maybe get that nose out in some clean air. But he is now hot on the tail of Safe Fair, as these two battled it out at Road America a couple weeks ago. And yellow flag flying once again. Looks like the 41 possibly. Maybe the 3 machine. I'm not totally sure. It looks like it could be Eric Lambert. Let's go take a look here. That was probably it right there. It looks like everybody checked up pretty close after that. So yeah, a little loose there by the 3. He gets into the 7. Mark Emerson. Things just going downhill fast for him. Not sure if the 41 had any issues here. Looks like he brought it to pit lane just at the same time as that. But Eric Lambert, the cause of this one. Let's actually take a look back at the start of that. Yeah, he just got loose underneath the 21 of Justin Carey. And yeah, Mark Emerson just nowhere to go. Along with Brett Sommers, those two involved in that one. As Safe Fair is able to hold off Stravato under that hard charge there, and this will put that 48 car on the front row for this restart. So we'll see how things go for him. And we are going to jump to another commercial break. We'll be right back.
Reach deep into yerba mate culture, and you'll discover people have long gathered to imbibe mate to awaken the mind, perform extraordinary feats, and exchange confidences. Brewed from the naturally caffeinated and nourishing leaves of the species of holly native to the South American Atlantic rainforest, yerba mate has the strength of coffee, the health benefits of tea, and the euphoria of chocolate, all in one beverage. Of the 6 commonly used stimulants in the world, coffee, tea, cola, cocoa, and guaraná, yerba mate triumphs as the most balanced and healthful while it stimulates. Come to life with Guayaquil's wide assortment of yerba mate offerings, from cans to bottles to loose leaf yerba mate, all with powers to unite and energize.
And back at the racetrack now, about to go green. It is Safe Fares and AJ Stravato on the front row. Green flag in the air. Good restart by the 44. That's going to allow Keith Mayato back into the picture, and he'll move to the second spot, seeing his opportunity there. And you got to feel for Seth Hatchell, who's not really been in position to have good restarts. He's been shuffled all the way back to 6th, restarting in the wrong lane, it seems, pretty much each time. So he's led a lot of laps here, and he's got to try and find his way back up to the front, and starting to run out of time. Looks like another crash on the racetrack. The 84 of Brockle and the 22 of TJ Brendel getting together here at the end of the straightaway. Let's take a look at what happened. Another quick yellow flag. And 22 car has been involved in a few things here in the 84. This is his first time getting involved in something tonight. So Brockle had been doing a good job running in around the 25th position. Take a look here. TJ Brendel up high. Just really struggling with the car there. You see he comes down the racetrack into the 84. And then they both slam that inside wall. But Brockle, some heavy damage there. And Nashville's next machine. Good job locking it down so he didn't slide back up the racetrack. But big hit to the front end of that race car. And not going to be too happy with the driver, that number 22. But the carousel continues at the front. It is still Safe Ferris, but behind him, these cars all swapping positions. Keith Mayato to second, Stravato to third, Gemmel back to fourth. Fifth is Dallas Sullivan. Seth Hatchell going to finally get a chance to restart in the correct lane. That outside line, generally the place to be if you're not on the front row, or if you're not the leader, rather. We'll see what he can do here in that sixth spot. See if he can get back up there. Has led 65 laps, right around half of the laps tonight. And I believe Safe Ferris has led pretty much the rest of them, 43. That is about the rest of them. And then a couple laps led by, I believe it was Joey Mines with staying out under the yellow flag earlier. And we do want to give a big shout out to Guayaki Yerba Mate, one of the sponsors of Team V Speed. You can check them out at the link in the chat that we just put up there. Or use the command Guayaki Yerba Mate. You can see it in the title of the stream. Go check them out. Delicious drinks. My favorite flavor is the Bluephoria, which is very reminiscent of the Snowberry Peace Tea, if you're a Peace Tea fan. But Yerba Mate, Guayaki Yerba Mate, they have some high energy blends. They've got some low calorie, low sugar blends, and everything's all natural and organic. And it's some great drinks. Another one that I was surprised to enjoy was the Blackberry Mint, which is a sparkling drink, a low calorie. But even those low calorie ones are packed with a pretty good amount of caffeine. So they can get you up and going, and they also aren't the type of caffeine that you'd find in like an energy drink. This is actually derived straight from the tea that's in the drink, and a very natural caffeine source, and it actually won't really make you feel jittery or crash or anything like that. It's a much better way to take your caffeine in if you do enjoy drinking coffee or energy drinks. It's a good alternative to those things. As the pace truck lights are off, we're going to be going green here. Safe Ferris, Keith Mayato on that front row. Behind them, it is Ryan Gemmel and AJ Stravato. Stravato kind of in the wrong lane this time. He might lose a couple spots. Look at the restart by Hatchell back there as he tries to take away the fifth position, or rather the fourth position. He'll work to the outside of AJ Stravato, but Safe Ferris out in front. And we'll see if we can go a couple more than a couple laps here under green before we get another yellow flag. But Hatchell fighting for fourth and trying to get up there with his two teammates. And Eric Gallion up here now in the mix in that sixth position, the 33 car. The Armor All paint scheme, great looking race car. Let's take a look from the inside of that machine and the ATA in-car camera. He works to the outside of AJ Stravato. A little wiggle there as they go door to door down the front straightaway. You can see Stravato really dives it in, gets a good run on exit there out of turn 2, and he is trying to clear the 33 but not able to do so just yet, and Gallion kind of pinching him down a little bit on exit. But you see this car pitch and roll as it gets into the turns here, such steeply banked corners. they continue to race it up. Servato losing some positions here. He's not in that preferred lane, and no real spot to slot in it. Cars keep filling up the gap, and he is faded back to 7th now as the two Team Red Speed machines there nose to tail. And almost contact between Kevin Cornelius and Dale Glessner. Those two nearly getting into each other. Meanwhile, out in front, Say Ferris is pulled away by about 0.6 of a second over Keith Mayato. So driver of that 44 car looking pretty stout here after climbing from the back of the pack. Previously, he had the tire advantage, but that is not the case at this point. They're all on equal tires. Thank you for the follow, iKarma. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're enjoying the race. We're 122 laps into this event. The Lazy Days 125 at Bristol for the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series. This is race number 5 of the season. Right now, Safe Fair is looking for his first victory of the year, and currently leading Keith Mayato and Ryan Gemmel, both of those drivers looking for their first victories. Seth Hatchell, the first winner in the field. He won at Daytona and riding in that 4th position behind his teammates. And then Eric Gallion up to 5th. Really commended Eric on his efforts so far this year. It has been a very good start to the season as he comes into this race 7th in the points. And we've seen him up there in contention quite a bit. He had a great race at Road America. He had a couple of other good races to start the year off, and obviously, you know, up in contention to potentially win regular season championship. But he's got a little ways to go to catch some of these other drivers that are right now in front of him on the racetrack as well. As Gemmel, your points leader, riding in 3rd. He's putting pressure on his teammate right there. That is Keith Mayato. Ryan really deep into the corner there. He's going to brush the outside wall and stay behind his teammate for the moment. But battle for the last position in the top 10 at the end of this stage. Justin Carey trying to hold off Cody Adkins. That is 9th. Or that is 10th and 11th right there. And then Dallas Sullivan up here in 9th. He's had a good race tonight. And caution going to fly again. Trying to find who that is. I think the 32 car of Mark Emerson. And the hits keep coming for that 32 machine. Look at the nose on that car. Let's see what happened to Mark. Well, this is an unpleasant event right here. That 32 machine just not in the position you want to be at this racetrack between a couple of cars here. He's behind the 7 of Brett Sommers, goes to the inside, and then the 7 bounces off the wall just a little down into the 32, into the 24. Big hits there. I think the 24 of Alves up across the racetrack. What happened here with him? He bounced off and then into the 71, into the 80, the 39 involved. 41 gets a little scrape there. Big hit for Timmy Emanuele, who is already 82 laps down and spent over a half hour on pit road. And may very well have just had his race ended right here. Also, look at the hit by Dennis Faircloth, who comes in the top 10 in points. He's had a good start to the season. When he hasn't had some bad luck, and this is a bad stroke of luck right here. That 71 machine as well. Lane Sulfridge 3 laps down. That car probably pretty broken in terms of handling and performance at this point. And that brings out another yellow flag. iKarma cheering on Sim Anonymous teammates. And let's take a look where they are at. It's not been a great night for those guys, but Robert Gilmore in the 27th position, 13 laps down. He's getting some damage repaired. Eric Lambert up here in 14th position. He's actually been able to recover from being a lap down at the start as well. And with all these yellow flags 8 cautions so far in the first 133 laps, and just the 3 lead changes. But Eric has been able to take a wave around at some point, and back on the lead lap with about half the race to go. It's not too late to cheer on your favorite driver. Let us know who you're rooting for so we can give you a shout out. Check them out on the racetrack and try and follow along the rest of the way. Who's your vote to win tonight's race? So far, the dominant cars have been up here in the top 5. That is Safe Ferris and Seth Hatchell. They've led all the laps pretty much. But some of these other drivers fighting to get back up in position to try and win this race. Only 15 laps to go in this stage, as Safe Ferris, your race leader, looking to get a strong restart here alongside fellow Canadian Keith Maiato. These two affiliate teammates, as Ferris a good jump there. Maiato not a bad restart considering all things. But Seth Hatchell trying to get back in position to get up there and lead some more laps. A little mistake there by Eric Gallion behind them. He's going to lose a few spots as AJ Servato up to the high line now. There's the 33 trying to slot in line in 8th position. But out in front, first and second, the two, I was going to say leadingest lap leaders, but that is not a word. But these two have led all the laps except for a handful led by Joey Mines just through a pit cycle. We'll see if Hatchell has anything to get up there and actually make the pass for the lead once again. But these two, first and second. And then Kevin Cornelius moves up to the 4th position on this restart. Good job there by the 17 to take advantage of the restart. Then you got Dale Glessner working to the outside of AJ Stravato. This is 6th and 7th position, but Stravato making gains on the inside. Not able to make the pass just yet. You see Glessner struggling just a little bit on turn exit, keeping that 48 car in the picture. This time he might have the opportunity to pull out in front. 48 though, still going to try and work the low line like we saw early in this race. But it will be 10 to go at the start-finish line this time to the end of stage number 2, and it is Safe Ferris, Seth Hatchell, Keith Maiato in contention to win this thing. But will we see another caution kind of end things here? Thought I saw Kevin Cornelius with a mistake there. Brian Gemmel able to get to 4th position. And behind them, that battle, AJ Stravato, Dale Glessner continue to fight it out. You see the 33 of Eric Gallion. He's sneaking back into the picture here. Good job there by Eric to recover from his mistakes early in this run. We do have another yellow flag on the racetrack. Trying to see who that is. Looks like the 68 of Kyle Payne involved in another one here, and a few other cars, including Timmy Emanuele, Josiah Vincent, and some others that have already experienced quite a bit of damage in this race. Let's see what happened here. I'm not sure who it started with, but I know that there were a few drivers involved in this. It looks like maybe Josiah Vincent at the start of all of it. Let's take a look here. Oh, here we go. So he is racing alongside Eric Lambert. The 57 checks up in front. 4 tries to come across the nose, and that is not going to work. That's right in front of Nick Starling. The 22 of Brendel just piles in there without touching the brakes. Timmy Emanuele able to navigate that, and also Kyle Payne, big hit here. Neither of those drivers really lifting in time, but it is so hard to see at this racetrack. Let's go on board with TJ, who's been involved in a lot of incidents here tonight. You can see the crashing happening up there. Smoke on the racetrack. He just doesn't quite hit the brakes. And T-bones the 4 machine sitting on the racetrack. And already 29 laps down in 30th position. just adding to the damage on that race car. But that should probably end the stage. We'll have to see if these guys bring it back down. I think this should end the stage. A lot of lap drivers on the pit lane right now, but really no lead lap drivers other than Jordan Scheffler. And it sounds like a car just blew up. I'm not sure who that was. Might have been Kyle Payne. Yes, it was. He took it behind the wall. That car, well, nope, he is still on the track, actually. Somebody blew up. It may have been Josiah Vincent. We'll have to see here. Kinetic Boom 80. I think that is Dennis Faircloth. Said he's stuck on pit road for just 6 more minutes. Might have a shot at this thing. 15 laps down. Could easily get a top 20 out of it. We do have 20 cars on the lead lap at the moment, but many of them very damaged as well. So it looks like we are not done with the stage. Looks like we'll get a real short run to the finish here at lap 150. Then another yellow flag will be thrown at that point. But Safe Fair is looking for a 2nd straight stage win. And it would be his 4th of the season, which would lead all drivers. But no race wins yet for the 44. As he makes his way out of the corner here. Mayato really close to the door there. And the 17 of Kevin Cornelius losing control, as well as Brett Sommers. And Sommers around in front of the field here. That's going to bring out the yellow flag. Could not get the grip down, and that will end the stage. See what happened with Brett here as he lost control. As they were getting back up to speed, Sommers, that 7 machine, you see the 17 also lose control. They stack up behind him. Hatchell just barely able to avoid all that. When the 7 car ends up facing the wrong way, that's going to bring out a yellow flag. Pace truck almost runs over him. Let's take a look at the stage results. Safe Fair is first for the 2nd time tonight. Keith Mayato 2nd, Eric Gallion 3rd, Kevin Cornelius 4th, Tony Baird 5th, 6th was Cody Agkid, 7th Eric Hutton, 8th Alan Dayz, 9th Ryan Gimmel, rounding out the top 10 in the stage, Joey Mines. A couple drivers who pitted previous to that yellow flag. Seth Hatchell, AJ Stravato, not earning stage points, but I'm expecting them to stay out on the racetrack as Safe Fair brings it in. Eric Hutton going to stay on the track and try and lead some laps here under yellow. A War Bovine, you should have seen last year's event here. I think there were 5. No, there might have been 4 or 3 on the lead lap at the end of the race. But we had about a 120 lap run to the end, and we're obviously not getting that tonight. But could go green the rest of the way now that we're done with stages. And we'll do the quick long recap here. Now that the stages are done, you can see 10 cautions so far in the first 150 laps. We've had a couple of decent green flag runs, but really a lot of cautions piled on top of each other here as of late. Only 3 lead changes, now 4 as Eric Hutton finally leads a lap. Safe Fair has won both stages here tonight, as he has added to his playoff point totals, and that'll help him in the points to climb up towards the top 5 in the standings at the end of the night. So we'll see what he can do to get back up in contention. Is it looks like the top 8 staying on the racetrack. Eric Lambert in the most damaged car of anyone up here. He's also got the oldest tires, and like he said, just kind of limping it around. And he's earning a couple extra points by doing what he's doing right now, but could have a very similar fate to what Joey Mines had on his attempt at doing this about 40-50 laps ago. And Ryan Gemmel in a good spot to take advantage of this. He's got fresh tires, and he is in front of some other cars that have not been able to keep pace with him. And then you've got Seth Hatchell and AJ Stravato buried behind all of them. They're in 5th and 6th position, so could be an opportunity for Gemmel to get out here and lead some laps. As Eric Hutton gonna get going straight away. Green flag back in the air, 77, good restart, not spinning the tires, but you can see how much slower he is with the damage on that car. Gonna lose all these spots almost instantly, I would think. Down the straightaway, definitely down on power, but Ryan Gemmel out in front now for the first time tonight. And about 80 laps remaining as both Stravato and Hatchell able to get around. You see Dallas Sullivan into second. Good run here for the 46, who's trying to hold off that 48 car. Haven't seen these guys battle it out too much. Gemmel, a little scrape on the wall right there. Here comes Stravato to the inside. Is he going to be able to get around the 46? Looks like he will. And then Seth Hatchell also goes to the inside. Oh, Safe Fair's a little bit of a mistake there. Down onto the apron. This could be bad news as Kevin Cornelius gets squeezed into the wall behind Mayato, and he's going to go around. He'll take the 98 of Baird with him. And who else? The 39, the 13, 32, the 9, all slowing up. The 9, though, slams into the inside wall. I think this was a result of the 44 car getting a bit loose and kind of stacked him up. Kevin Cornelius, though, with some big damage there. Might have broken the rear suspension. So let's try and take a look at what happened here. You see Safe Fair is the bright red and white car. I think it's going to be this next corner. He comes up behind the 21, goes to move to the inside. Gets really loose down onto the apron. The 36 of Mayato checks up, and then 17 just kind of goes around on his own. So Kevin Cornelius looping it there, catches the 33 in the door. The 98 gets into it. 13 slams the rear axle. That may have done it there for the 17 machine as he took it behind the wall. Let's get another look at this. Kind of an odd incident. Kevin has not had great luck here to open this season. That's just a little mistake there, and then I think might have hurt the suspension at that point already, and around he goes. Man, Timmy Emanuele, big hit there, already 84 laps down, and that looks to be the end of his race. Said that about the last one, and this was he's smoking out there, trying to complete as many laps as possible before he inevitably has to go to the pit lane. But another yellow flag tonight. That is caution 11. Ryan Gemmel out in front, leading a few laps here under this last run. AJ Stravato made it up to second, and Seth Hatchell up to third. So how does this work out for the V-Speed teammates? Do they line up on the inside together with the 48 on the outside? What's the plan here for Ryan Gemmel on this restart? Does he take the inside? Does he take the outside? And again, we want to give a big shout out to Lazy Days Racing for sponsoring tonight's event. Go check those guys out. Facebook, Twitter, and a few of their drivers streaming. Also right here on Twitch. And we want to thank our sponsor for the season, right here in the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series, the American Trucking Association. You can learn more about them by using !ATA is the command in chat. where you'll be able to go to their website. Looks like Ryan Gemmel electing to take the outside lane here. That's going to put AJ Stravato down on the inside. That'll give Dallas Sullivan opportunities to get to second position once again. That Seth Hatchell going to be pinned behind the 48, so I think those two down low at a disadvantage right now. But Stravato maybe with the best opportunity to get into second. As Gemmel going to pull alongside of the 48, trying to time this restart. See, he's actually a bit out in front, but good restart there. A little spin of the tires. 46 going to get alongside, but it looks like Stravato easily going to take that spot away, and he even looks to take the lead away potentially. Starting to challenge that 6 machine. He'll work to the inside here, along the quarter panel, out of turn number 4, and along the door of Ryan Gemmel. Can that 6 car get out in front and hold on to the clean air all to himself? Here comes the 48 of Stravato, trying to challenge down low. And this is the battle for the race lead. Gemmel able to take it away, though. The 48 not able to hold that spot down on the inside. And that has allowed Seth Hatchell to also close in just a little bit here. He's on the back bumper, the 48 actually. And look at this single file back to the 33 as Save Ferris looks to the inside of the 21 of Justin Carey. Right around where we were at the time the last caution came out. Carey really deep into the corner there. They're coming up on lap traffic. That is Timmy Emanuele. Ferris jumps back into the high line there. It's so interesting to see these drivers attempt to go around the racetrack in different ways. The 21 a little higher in the corner. Here comes the 44, going to look to the inside, though. This is for the 6th position, and it looks like he will take that one away. The 21 gives it to him. No challenge there, as at the front it is still Ryan Gemmel. And it's just 1 car length separating him and AJ Stravato. But the 48 is closing in. Half a car length now. Look down low that time. Not going to be able to do it that way, though. I think he's going to have to really time his run perfectly. Now on the quarter panel, but a little bit loose there, putting the power down. And almost opened the door up for Seth Hatchell, who's now going to try the same exact move. He can't get the power down either. So the 8 machine stuck to ride in line in 3rd, and look at this, Safe Ferris. He's got slightly fresher tires, the same strategy he employed early on in this race. But this time it's only 7 laps the difference, and he is moving through the field though. 4 more cars to go to get back to the point. But he has won 2 stages tonight after coming from the rear, so you'd expect him to be chomping at the bit to get back up there and have a shot at this win after all of that. But everybody pretty much single file here among the top 15 or so. We do have a little battle here between Alan Dayz and Eric Lambert, who ride 12th and 13th. Even though both drivers have been involved in a few incidents tonight, as well as Joey Mines. And I cannot believe that Chris Simard is still out here in the modified division, riding 15th right now. He's trying to make the most of the laps here. And we still have 19 cars on the lead lap. That 68 machine still on the lead lap, but in danger of falling a lap down. It's Gemmel only about a straightaway behind. Bringing these leaders with him. Hatchell trying to get to the outside. That 48 car kept the door open, but 8 could not take advantage, so they'll continue to ride 2, 3. It'll be 50 laps to go here in a short while. And the top 3 have broken away over Dallas Sullivan and Safe Ferris. And then back a little bit farther, Dale Glessner, Keith Mayato. And Mayato, again, your pole sitter tonight. But I don't think he has led a lap here in this race. Has picked the inside line, and Hatchell took the lead away, straight away. Keith was never able to get to the start-finish line first. And right now trying to fight for a top 5 position. But these are your top 3 on the racetrack, pulling away as Gemmel, a little bit of a blink there. About 2 car lengths in front of Stravato. 48 car starting to work about a half lane lower. We'll see that come into effect as the run goes on. You can actually make some speed down there. But Seth Hatchell all over the back bumper, the 48 machine. And if you're kind of a numbers person like me, you see the two V-Speed machines 6 and 8. And then you got the 48 in the middle, and if you can do the math there, both of those numbers adding up, if you multiply them, that gets you 48. It's kind of a little interesting thing happening right now. I see those kinds of things, those patterns sometimes are a little bit interesting how they work out, but Gemmel trying to pull away and just not able to do so. That 48 car keeping up about 2 car lengths back, and the 8 car still about a car length behind him. As Brett Sommer's last car on the lead lap, he's going to go a lap down now, and that sets Eric Hutton up as the next car to go a lap down. He's currently 13.7 seconds behind. Meanwhile, look at Dallas Sullivan. He's been able to hold off Safe Ferris, and actually Keith Mayato able to get around Dale Glessner, and he set his sights on the 44. But this is where things will start to get interesting. Lap traffic coming into play here. And Ryan Gemmel, your race leader, he might come up on these guys racing side by side, but that 22 car is going to have to be very aware. And he is not. He's right in the middle of the racetrack. That was nearly a big accident, and he gets out of the way, but that could have been a very bad mistake. As Gemmel now approaching Eric Hutton, the teammate of the 48. But the 77 is going to give him plenty of room to work. He knows he's down on power. But Gemmel may be a little bit timid to make the move around these lap cars, as here's the 48 just a half car length behind. And under 50 laps to go. It is anybody's race. Look at the 48 of Stravato challenging for the lead. Here comes Seth Hatchell, though. Going to go to the inside. Not going to be able to make that move stick, as he'll lose a couple of car lengths in the process. And a couple more lap cars in front. That is Kyle Payne. He's going to roll to the inside and let these guys right on past. But Gemmel, you can see he's really sending it on turn entry, and that is hurting him on the exit of the corner. Stravato a little bit slower on entry, but he's getting a really nice run off the exit, and he is right on the back bumper of Ryan Gemmel, trying to force him to make a mistake. Gemmel about a tenth slower than the 48 the last couple of laps. That time by Stravato, not able to make the inside stick, though. And a little bit more breathing room for the 6 machine. So this is your top 3 out in front. Keith Mayato has made it around Dallas Sullivan. This is for 4th position, and he is about 2 seconds back from those top 3, but don't count out the 36 machine. So good at saving tires. Can he get up there and challenge for the race win? And look at this cluster right here. This is the 20 of Joey Mines. Right behind him, though, Justin Carey, Eric Gallion, Chris Samard. And then all of these race cars side by side. When do the leaders get here? It won't be long. This is going to be very, very interesting to see how these top 3 make it through. Oh, and we've got cars all over the racetrack, as Gemmel going to go to the outside of Jordan Schepler. He'll put him another lap down. The 41 of Ostrowski right here, the next one in line. He's going to stay to the low side. Eric Gallion, who has been up in contention at points in this race. He had some damage from the previous accident. And they are wrecking up in front of the race leaders. Cars flying across the racetrack. Oh, and I think, damage for Ryan Gemmel and Seth Hatchell. And I don't know if the 48 was involved, but that's a couple of hits there. The 6 car with a bit of right front damage. And we had Nick Starling flying through the air right in front of the race leaders. You can see it coming from a mile away that those guys are going to have an accident. And it starts with the number 7 machine of Brett Sommers. Let's go. Let's do the replay here. 7 in the outside wall. The 98 tries to pass him on the inside. They go wrecking there. The 99 across the track, the 24 involved. The 6 just barely avoids all of them and then slams the side of the 7. What about Seth Hatchell, though? What happened here from the inside? Oh, man. And AJ Stravato, I think, able to avoid it all. He gets on the brakes hard here. He makes contact, actually, pretty significant contact with the 24 machine. So all 3 of the leaders wrecked or involved in the wreck. Hatchell actually looks like he has the least amount of damage. I want to see what happens with Nick Starling. This is an absolutely wild wreck for the driver of the 99. He goes to avoid and then hooks off the nose full speed and then launches off the V-Speed machines. Barrel rolls onto the roof. Dallas Sullivan gives him a little nudge there, and you know, I think that's probably it for Nick Starling, who tows it to the pit lane, and that car most likely done for the night. So who wins the battle off pit road? Does anyone try and take a 2-tire pit stop as Gemmel leads these guys? Actually, Ryan Gemmel is just on pit road now. AJ Stravato, Seth Hatchell, both back on the racetrack. Did Ryan Gemmel make a mistake? Or is he just bringing it in a lap later? But this will hand the race lead over to AJ Stravato, and Gemmel is going to fall all the way to the tail end of the lead lap, most likely. So what just happened? That's a full-length pit stop, so he took 4 tires and everything right here. That car didn't get the damage repaired, but that is going to put him back outside the top 10 for the moment, maybe even farther back than that, maybe close to 15th. So I don't know what happened with the 6, maybe missed his opportunity to bring it down pit lane. And AJ Stravato, lucky as you can get, although he's got damage, goes to the point here, looking for 3 wins in a row. And it will be Stravato choosing the outside lane, and Seth Hatchell going to be behind him. Both of these drivers winners this season and surviving this race of attrition. And Stravato will be in control of the restart here, but pretty heavy nose damage on that car. We'll see how it affects him. Wow, that is a big hit. Didn't look like it initially, but green flag back in the air. We are underway once again. Lap 200 done and over with. Lap 201 goes on the board, and it is AJ Stravato jumping out to a 4-car length lead over Seth Hatchell. But that 8 car, who's been so good all race long, is he going to be denied here tonight by a car as beat up as that? Stravato really just making it to the lead for the first time tonight, I believe. And I don't know how he does it. Every week, that car somehow finds its way to the point. But I think the damage may start to come into play here at some point in time. You can see these guys sticking with him now. He had a good jump on the restart, but Hatchell keeping him honest right now. 1 car length the difference. And it is possible that car could have cooling issues with the nose the way it is. Seth Hatchell just a car length behind him, the number 8 V-Speed machine, and then Keith Maiato in contention here in 3rd. Dallas Sullivan in 4th has stayed up here in the fight, and then Safe Fair is back in the top 5, starting to challenge the 46. He looks to the inside this time. And he'll get a good run out of the corner here and try and take that spot away. But at the point, Hatchell now looking to the inside. And I thought I heard someone maybe wrecking, but must have just been somebody coming off the pit lane. Hatchell not able to make it work. He's going to have to get to the outside, or he's going to have to bump the 48. As he's now, again, 1 car length behind. He's got the speed to race with him. He just He's going to have such a hard time passing. Look at the deep drive into the corner there. The 48, obviously a little bit down on horsepower. Getting through the corners pretty well. And Hatchell right there with him. They're coming back up on lap traffic. That's TJ Brendel. And side by side, Kyle Payne and the 71 of Lyle Sulfridge. They're going to get out of the way. No issue there. The 68, a little blink. The 48 into the wall. But they continue to race on. These top 5 nose to tail pretty much. With under 25 to go, it is winding down quickly. Who's going to take the lead? Here comes the 8 looking to the outside. Can't quite get there. The 48 shuts him off. And they're coming back up on some lap traffic. Hatchell trying to find a way around the 9 machine of Jeremiah Vincent. He's going to let these guys by. There's the 39 of Timmy Emanuele. And that 8 car, pretty much the cleanest on the racetrack, trying to find some way to get past the 48. You see him dive so deep into the corner. They're nearly tagging the outside wall. Just can't quite get there to the outside to make the move, as here they come on Jordan Shepler. Going to put him a lap down, or another lap down. And AJ Stravato still hanging on to it. But I think the tires may be starting to feel it. He's going to try and give him the bumper here. Can't quite do it. The 48 hangs on to the lead, but Seth Hatchell starting to grow impatient. I think that car has the speed to go out there and win and also just pull away. But Mark Emerson, he's going to get in the way of his teammate. And the 48 going to try and block the high lane. Here's Seth Hatchell all over the back bumper. Does he shove him down into the corner? No, but he's going to try and make the run down low. Can't get the speed. 20 laps to go. Less than 20 to go now. And it is AJ Stravato holding him off. That 48 car doing his best Ryan Newman impression right now, as Seth Hatchell trying so hard to get around him, just cannot find the room to do so. And that low line just has not been the way to do it, but he's really diving into the corner, trying to diamond it a little bit. And at some point here, he's going to have to use the chrome horn, I think. It's not really Seth's style to do so, but that's kind of what you have to do at this racetrack. Here comes Keith Maiato starting to challenge the top 2. It'll be 15 to go next time by. Somebody's going to have to make the move. Somebody's going to have to find a way around that 48 car if they want to win. But Stravato looking for his 3rd race in a row. And Hatchell waiting for his moment to strike here. Does he give the 48 the bumper? Is he going to be able to find his way around the low lane? As now it looks like he gives him a little shot on turn entry. They put the 71 another lap down. And they're both in the wall. The 48 car bounces off the outside wall, and so does Seth Hatchell. Just a little brush there. It'll be 10 to go here in just a few laps as they work around TJ Brendel. This is getting crazy how tight and close this is, as the 8 car of Hatchell just cannot find a way around Timmy Emanuele, the next lap car. And here comes Keith Maiato, going to challenge to the inside of the 8 machine. And as Hatchell used all his stuff up, 1 car length now separating these 2. He's got to have another opportunity, as he's getting right to the back bumper, just cannot get the power to go underneath. And the 77, once again, slow on the racetrack here on the inside now. It'll be 10 laps to go next time by. And it is Seth Hatchell trying to chase down Stravato. And look at the gap now, a car length and a half for Stravato as he leads him down into turn number 1. And AJ Stravato, he didn't touch the lead until these last handful of laps. Ryan Gemmel gave it up after, I think, another pit road mistake might have cost him this race. But Seth Hatchell, who led almost the entirety of stage number 1, trying so hard to get back to the lead, he has not been able to do it since that moment. And look at these 2 just diving into the corner here. Here comes Keith Maiato challenging now to the inside of Hatchell. Is this going to slow up both of those two V-Speed machines as he puts the bumper to the 48? Not going to be able to keep up with him, though, as here comes Mayato looking the inside and Hatchell into the outside wall just a little bit. It's going to slow him up, and it will be 6 laps to go this next time by. And Keith Mayato is finding some speed down low, but not able to get close enough, and they're both falling behind. Hatchell's so close to that outside wall, and he's got his teammate right up against his door. This is so difficult to make anything happen. He's pretty much boxed in here. And AJ Stravado loves what he is seeing between those teammates racing it up. But when do we see any challenge here? Any mistake by the 48 will cost him this race. Hatchell's going to give him the bumper. Then he sends him into the wall there, and yellow flag is going to fly. And it is the 10 of Dale Glessner, the 98 of Tony Baird involved in this. And this changes everything. And it almost makes it a lot easier for AJ Stravado. Let's take a look at what happened here. The 98, Tony Baird. See if he was at the start of this or if he was at the end of it. Tony Baird, a rookie this year, in the top 10 in points. It sounds like the wreck maybe happened up here in front of them. I'm not seeing the accident. Oh, here it is up here. Oh, he ran into the back at the end of all of that. Let's see what happened with Dale Glessner. As the 13 hits the wall, he hits the wall and then goes off the nose of Gemmel, and those two good friends in real life. Maybe gonna have some interesting conversation here. The 21 machine also, Justin Carey, he gets involved in this one late. And man, Chris Samar just barely able to navigate around this. I'm gonna go on board with Chris. Wow, can't even see that car sitting there as he pulls it back to the pit lane, but there's not going to be any pitting from these top 8, top 9 now. Top 10 all going to stay on the racetrack. First car going to come down pit lane. Yeah, we'll see here. This is going to be very interesting. I think Stravado has the advantage with this. Being the leader on these restarts is so huge, and you gain 2-3 car lengths straight away. So Hatchell's going to have the restart of his life, and Stravado with 36 lap old tires along with all of these other guys, they need to not make a mistake here. Could very easily spin the tires, cause a big pile up here on the front straightaway. So we are headed to overtime at Bristol. Just what you thought was going to be a crazy close green flag finish. Gets cut just a little bit short, and now it's going to be an intense sprint to the finish. And how about Joey Mines, the 20 car? He's in 4th position. This is a career race for Joey, who's been involved in a few things tonight. He's led some laps. He had his moment out in front, but made a mistake on the restart while leading. Can he capitalize and somehow capture what would definitely be a wild card victory? We are working through turns 3 and 4. It's going to be AJ Stravado, Seth Hatchell, potentially the last restart of the night. Stravado gets going. Hatchell, not a great restart, but able to put the power down at least. And nobody has crashed yet, but this is a huge jump for the 48. He's got 5 or 6 car lengths in hand, and I think that's going to be too much to catch up. It'll be white flag next time by AJ Stravado. Somehow is potentially going to pull this race out. Eric Lambert in the wall behind all of this. And Hatchell trying to get there, trying to put the bumper to him. Joey Mines in the wall. Hatchell looks down low. It's not going to happen. AJ Stravato, 3 in a row. He's going to do it again at Bristol. And you can tell how happy he is. That was not what I expected. As strong as Stravato has been all season, he didn't seem to have a winning car. And then seemingly handed the race lead. And he takes another one in the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series. Started third, he leads 39 laps at the very end of this race, the last 39 laps. And how many times have we seen that 48 car do that over the last season and a half as he burns it up here on the front straightaway? We're going to go to a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Hey, honey.
It's happening. The baby's coming.
Okay, I'm on the way.
Hey, buddy. You ready for the big game?
You're gonna be there, right, Dad?
You can count on me. I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Hey, honey, Josh's flight landed early. He'll be about 6:30. Can you make it?
Okay. I'm on my way.
We've got total gridlock out there this afternoon.
The average American spends over 40 hours a year, nearly 2 full days, stuck in traffic on our broken roads and bridges, while our lives move full speed ahead. It doesn't have to be this way.
Where is he?
Husband's on his way.
It's time for Washington to get America moving again by finally funding our country's infrastructure.
Where's Mom?
Tell Washington to fund America's infrastructure, because life won't wait.
V-Speed is proud to be partnered with Below the Double Yellow podcast, a podcast for NASCAR fans by NASCAR fans. Listen to Nick and Joe discuss all the latest on-track action, available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. V-Speed is also proud to present the 2021 Below the Double Yellow Cup Series, brought to you by the American Trucking Association, starting January 14th, 8:25 p.m. Eastern Time, Thursdays at twitch.tv/VSpeedSim. And back at the racetrack now, we're going to be bringing up our race winner for the third time in a row. AJ Stravato, Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, AJ, I don't know how you do it sometimes. You may not even know how you do it sometimes. But man, 3 in a row, seemingly out of nowhere in this race. You lead the last 39 laps and take home the victory at Bristol. How'd you get it done here tonight?
If you want me to be completely honest, just luck. I really it's really hard to pass here, and with the amount of cautions that we were having throughout the race, it was just really hard to not only get track position where I kept restarting the inside, but just wasn't falling in our favor in terms of like long runs. We got up to third or second after getting a couple favorable lines on the outside, and I guess Ryan missed his pit. That's really, I think, all that was to it. He just Ryan's a good buddy, and he made a mistake, so I ended up having the lead from there. And I think towards the end of that race, we would have really had to have driven our rear end off to keep Seth behind us. I think he did a great job saving, and just caution came out at the right time. That's all it really was to it. So just lucky to play track position to a pretty much to a T right there at the very end, whether it was earned or not, and took home a win.
Yes, sir. And you know, the saying goes, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, but I think you've got kind of everything on your side. In that case, 3 wins in a row at all different kinds of racetracks. Solidly going to be in the points lead, as well as you know, the favorite, I think, again, to win the championship and go back to back. But what does it mean to be on this streak right now? And also headed to let's see where we're going next week. Looks like Charlotte next week, which I know you're also very good at. How are you feeling about all that?
I'd be cool to go 4 in a row. I'm not gonna obviously get too far ahead of myself, but Charlotte's a decent track, depending on the setup. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to that. We've had a good week, I think, just on iRacing as a whole. We finished 6th in the 500. Yesterday in VRL, we almost won, finished 4th, and we won here today. So pretty dang good week of sim racing. I'm pretty happy about that. But yeah, we'll just move forward to next week, and looking forward to the challenge.
Yes, sir. And third win of the year. You start third, lead 39 laps. The last 39, which we've seen you do so many times, taking the lead when it matters most. But taking home the victory. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before we let you go celebrate?
Yeah, Viking Supplements, Chuck Hill Trucking, V-Speed, Simulators Anonymous, Illinois Trucking Association, and Boston Web Market. And you, man, you do a hell of a job broadcasting. I got to give you a lot of props, especially being a solo guy doing this by yourself, man. It's cool to watch these races, and you do a great job. So obviously yourself and all my teammates and the league admins that make this happen. It's a lot of fun, even, having a caution fest to an extent right there. This is a fun league, and glad to be a part of it.
Yeah, definitely an exciting race. And thanks for putting on a show for us here tonight. Congrats on another win yet again, and we'll catch you next week at Charlotte.
Thank you, brother. Have a good one, man.
Thank you. You too. And that is your race winner. Once again, AJ Stravato putting on a show, and he takes home his 3rd straight victory. But we're going to bring up 2nd place finisher, Seth Hatchell. This is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, Seth, you play the bridesmaid again for the 3rd time, I think, this season. But, man, you're on a tear here at the start of this season. Had a great opening to this race and just could never quite find the front again. Anything you could have done there throughout the race to maybe put yourself in position?
Yeah, it's tough to say. You can look back and a number of things and say, change what you did to see if the outcome would have been different. I felt like I put myself in decent position there. There's a couple restarts. I believe before the end of stage 2, I came in and pit, trying to cycle ahead of those guys once the stage finally ended. And I think there was a couple of restarts in the back there where probably lost a position or two that could have made a difference, but it's hard to say. Just, I don't know, needed to find something else different there. Keith was starting to work the middle line there, but I couldn't take the chance to go down there against AJ because Keith would have just gone to the top. And I was trying to give AJ a couple bumps there, and I think one time I even put him in the fence, but just not a whole lot you can do there. But nonetheless, still happy with the 2nd place finish. Just gotta work a little bit harder and get past these 2nd places to get to 1st.
Yes, sir. And that 48 car winning 3 in a row. You've been, on the 2nd place end of that a couple times now, I think. But this is one of your best places, and it definitely looked like you were the car to beat. Even when you got mired back there, you always found your way up towards that lead and were in contention. But was it hard working in the dirty air? Did you notice any difference between that and being out front?
For the first couple laps, it wouldn't turn quite as well, but it'd sort of go away after that. The way these cars are running now, it's crazy how quick these cars are running, even still with the low downforce. They're way quicker than they used to be with the same sort of level of downforce. And so really, it's just about pinching the brake pretty hard and getting it turned and be right back on the throttle. You really don't got to worry about tire wear till, I don't know, maybe 60, 70 laps into a run. So it's really just a lot of that towards the end.
Yeah, not too many of those runs in this race tonight. Very caution-filled race, but we head to Charlotte next week, another track I know you're a big fan of. So what are your thoughts on going out there?
Yeah, that'll be fun. That's, you know, almost an entirely different track. It's almost 9-day, like a oval and a road course. But I think I ought to be pretty good there. I really like saving my tires there, and I can really run the bottom pretty well there, running the line on the bottom. So pretty excited to be running there.
Yeah, we'll see if you can capture your second victory after a bunch of runner-ups this season. You did win at Daytona, but looking for that second one. You start second, you finish second here. You led the first 65 laps on your way to that runner-up. Anyone you want to give a shout-out to before we let you go?
Yeah, I got to thank you, Adam, for doing a great job with the broadcast. Got to thank all the sponsors of the league. I believe Lazy Days Racing for being the sponsor for tonight's race. Thanks to them. Got to thank Nick and all the admins for doing a good job. I know tonight's race was a little rough, but that's Bristol for you. All the drivers for putting on good shows for everybody, and my team V-Speed.
Awesome, Seth. Well, congrats on another fantastic run from you here tonight, and we'll catch you next week at Charlotte.
Yep, thank you.
All right, that was Seth Hatchell, the number 8 machine for Team V-Speed, finishing in the second spot, his third time doing so this year in the first 5 races. Not too much to complain about there. So we bring up third place finisher, Keith Mayato. This is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy.
10-4.
Well, Keith, you started on the front row, but you didn't end up making it to the line first at any point tonight. But man, you recovered from a couple of incidents here tonight. You were able to charge back up, and you were fighting for it there at the end. Give us a rundown of your race and you know how you felt you could have been better, or what you could have changed to maybe have a shot at this thing.
Longer green flag runs probably would have given me a better shot, and that's all I was hoping for, because I knew none of us had the pace to outpace the leader on green, on fresh tires. It was impossible. Track position was everything. But I was hoping for long runs, and before that, I guess the last caution or 2 cautions before where we had that long green run, that's what I was hoping. I'm like, this is my chance. I'm closing in on the top 3, and this is looking good. And then, dreams get shattered right there.
Yeah, definitely a very segmented race. A lot of, cautions coming right after another. There were a couple of decent runs in there, but yeah, not a whole lot of green flag racing, which I know you're definitely one of the best at, saving those tires and saving your stuff. But we saw you take the inside line on the initial start. Was there any discussion there between you and Seth, and you think that made a big difference in how the race played out?
Now, yeah, in hindsight, I didn't realize how much better the outside would have been, like right on the start. And even when he passed me, I didn't mind running second, because I was assuming or hoping we, after 20 laps, green flag, we were going to go right to the stage end, and hopefully I had a chance to pass Seth at that point. But things just didn't play out. I'm happy just to finally get a podium finish. It's been feels like it's been a while.
Yeah, I think this may be your best finish of the year. I'm not sure. I'm looking back at week 2. Looks like you earned a lot of points there. I'm not sure if that was just from the stage win or not. But podium finish, I think, for the first time. Your third top 5. So you're doing well in the points, though, up towards the top 5 in the standings. Maybe going to climb up in the top 5 after this race. And we go to Charlotte next week. So what are your thoughts on going out there?
Well, it's a 170 lap race, so it's going to be a pretty long one for Charlotte. And I do like the track. I can't recall what the package is like there, so I'm just going to go with the same game plan, just save my stuff, and hopefully I'm there at the end, because I just got to hold back and try not to run every lap like a qualifying lap. It's just not my style, and usually gets me into trouble.
Yeah, and you have definitely been very close to multiple wins. I think of even Daytona, you were out in front in the last lap, and then I think the next race you were right up there with a few laps to go, and you're right about to break through, I think. And once those floodgates open, I don't know if anybody else wants them to be open for very long, but we know what happens when that 36 car gets to victory lane. But anyways, you come home third here tonight after starting on the pole. A nice solid run for you. Anybody you want to give a shout out to for the podium finish?
Yeah, shout out for teammates tonight. They were great, helping out on restart. Sorry to safe there. He was letting me by, and I ended up putting in the wall, but it was one of those no contact hits. But yeah, thanks to the admins in the league, yourself, Adam, with VSpeed doing an awesome job on the broadcast, and Lazy Days Racing for sponsoring tonight's race.
Awesome, Keith. Well, good to see you back on the podium here, and maybe get another one next week at Charlotte. We will catch you then.
All right, take care. Have a good night, Adam.
All right, you too. And that is Keith Mayato, third place finisher for Team V Speed. But once again, your race winner, AJ Stravato, 3 weeks in a row. He takes home the win here in the Below the Double Cup Series. Below the Double Yellow Cup Series. I'm tripping over my words right now. But Stravato, what can you say? A very unexpected win, surprisingly, in tonight's race for him. But 13 cautions, very caution-filled race, 6 lead changes. And Stravato takes it home for 3 weeks in a row, and probably going to be at the top of the standings. Seth Hatchell, who led the first 65 laps, could not find the lead again, right there knocking at the door at the very end, but second place is where he has to end up. Keith Mayato finishes in third. Fourth place, Safe Fares, he won both stages, so he has 4 stage wins on the year, and a nice solid top 5 for him, but still seeking that first win of the season. In fifth position, Justin Carey, nice way to wrap up this race. He was involved in a couple of things, but able to muscle through it all after starting in 33rd. By far the biggest mover of the race. Nice run for him. Joey Mines, I think potentially his best run of his career here in the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series, finishes in 6th. Ryan Gemmel with the mistake on pit road. He's going to end up in the 7th position tonight. Cody Atkins finishes 8th. Eric Lambert with a great run as well. He ends up in 9th after starting a lap down. And rounding out the top 10, Eric Gallion able to muscle out a pretty solid finish as well. Tony Baird finishes in 11th. Alan Dayz finishes in 12th. Dallas Sullivan, who was up in the mix for a little bit there late in the race, finishes 13th. Eric Hutton finishes 14th. And Chris Samard, last car on the lead lap, finishes in the 15th position, bringing up the modified division in that race car. Brett Sommers finishes in 16th. 17th was Mark Emerson. 18th, Jordan Shepler. 19th, Kyle Payne. And rounding out the top 20 was Dale Glessner, who was involved in an incident late. 21st, Nathaniel Ostrowski. 22nd, Jeremiah Vincent. 23rd, Lane Sulford's. 24th, Dennis Faircloth. 25th, Nick Alves. 26th, TJ Brendel. 27th, Nick Starling, who we saw get launched through the air, end up on his lid. Ends up 53 laps down. 28th, Kevin Cornelius. 29th, Timmy Emanuele. And rounding out the top 30 was Josiah Vincent. 31st, Robert Gilmore. 32nd, Jordan Brockle. 33rd, Brandon Vasquez. 34th, Zach Smith. Rounding out the field tonight in 35th was Dennis Steele, the number 28 machine. And that's going to do it for tonight. We'll be back next week with the Virtual Racing League. I want to thank you all for joining us here tonight. We're going to try and jump in with somebody. We're going to jump in with David Schildhouse, good friend of the channel here. We want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. You can catch us on all of these different social media outlets to stay up to date with what we're doing throughout the week. And make sure to hit follow or subscribe if you're interested in doing so. If you enjoyed the content tonight, we'd really appreciate it. And you can check us out at vspeedsim.com if you're interested in any of our services, including broadcasting, 3D design, 2D design, custom merchandise, and much more. Check us out, vspeedsim.com. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you next Wednesday for the Virtual Racing League.